The most intense game of laser tag you'll ever see, parental issues, and a fungal prank. The third episode of Starfleet Academy, Vitus Reflux, doesn't move Caleb's search for his mother along any further, but it does allow a couple of other characters to take the spotlight. In this video, I'm going to discuss what I liked about this episode, what I didn't like, and just give you my overall thoughts. In Star Trek The Next Generation, there is an episode called Data's Day. In this episode, we follow Data as he logs his day to share with Bruce Maddox. It's a low-stakes, character-focused episode that's now remembered as one of TNG's most beloved. And as I watched Vitus Reflux, I felt the same feeling I had when I watched Data's Day for the first time. This is also a low-stakes episode, almost filler episode, but I feel it'll end up being one of the more memorable ones, in particular for its set pieces and for the very Star Trek moral lessons of putting aside one's ego for the good of the team, as well as the importance of patience, empathy. After the first two episodes gave us a higher stakes story involving the Betazoids and the start of Caleb's story, this episode we slow down and we focus on two of our other main cast members, Daram and Genesis. In the first episode, Daram is presented as a cocky and highly competitive person. He's aiming to be a captain when he graduates, and he believes that he is one of the best of Starfleet. However, in this episode, he is faced with failure and forced to confront what it actually means to be a leader. When the Academy cadets are caught in an escalating war of pranks with the War College, Daram hot-headedly challenges them to a game of Calica. Think dodgeball, but with phasers, apparently.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. What?
Daram is the captain of the team after beating Genesis in competition for the position. However, it is his actions during the game versus the War College and the consequent actions of Genesis that give the team a solo point, that these make him realize that he's not best suited for being captain. I really like the way that they approach this story. We find out about the pressure that Daram is under from home to perform and to be the best, confronting his failure as captain of the Calica team, plus some choice words from Jet Reno about whether it is worth trying to impress his absent family, puts him on the right path to put his ego to one side, finally teaching him what leadership actually means. Now, alongside this, we also have the prank war between the War College and Starfleet Academy, which Starfleet wins, not by stooping to the War College's level, but by outgrowing them, like literally. In the end, Kelrek and the War College admit defeat and congratulates them, proving that empathy and patience are core Starfleet values. We also have further development of the relationship between Caleb and Tarima and why she joined the War College over Starfleet. However, it is Daram's story and the prank war that takes center stage in this episode. As I mentioned earlier, this is a low-stakes, simple, fun story, but through it, we have a couple of very Star Trek-like lessons, and some character development that's not just Caleb, which is satisfying to see. But because it seems to park the main story leading Starfleet Academy, I don't feel it was as strong as the previous two. However, I really like delving into the other characters and understanding their motivations. I found the similarities between the ambitions of Genesis and Daram, but their differing motivations, fascinating. Daram strives to be the best to gain his parents' approval, while Genesis is following a similar path, but her motivation is to prove that she is more than her admiral father. Now, once again, Gina Yushiri's Lura Thought is just fantastic in every scene that she's in. And I love that she's in a relationship with Tig Notaro's Jet Reno. As Jet would say, everything is going to be all right. Probably one of my favorite puns. And I never realized that I needed Klingon French fusion to be a thing. I mean, I'll have the cordon gak, please. I continue to enjoy our pacifist Klingon with a heart, Jaden, though, like Kyle, I wish we got to hear his second joke. I really liked all the details in Aki's office with like the models of all of our hero ships from previous series and even an original series tricorder on display. Whilst I was impressed with like the story, the planning and the execution of the prank, I don't feel that it was as legendary as they considered it to be. As a climax to the pranking story, it just fell a bit flat. I struggled to follow Ake in a few scenes, which I felt like was more of a sound mixing issue than a performance problem. And whilst I liked the lesson that Darren learned, the way he announced it through a message to his parents felt a little on the nose. I felt like we knew that he'd learned this lesson already. This episode really did feel like a young adult teen show than the previous episodes though, which is in general not a genre that I like. That being said, there was enough in this episode that I enjoyed and I could look past it. Ultimately, this was a fun story that, while it doesn't move along our main story, it did give other characters that moment to shine. So there you have it, my thoughts on episode 3 of Starfleet Academy. At this point, I always ask you to get in the comments and let me know what you think, but after my last review video, I just wanted to make something clear. Look, I'm not wanting to create an echo chamber in my comments. I'm happy to hear different opinions in there. I just have no interest in bad faith arguments or recycled culture war talking points. Bring them and you will be blocked. However, if you have a different point of view that you'd like to share and discuss, or if you enjoyed the episode, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'm working towards 1,000 subscribers and I'd love to have you on board. Thanks for watching.